guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Anastasia here with this week's Teen Mom Recap. Before I get started, I would love it if you guys would subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every single week about Teen Mom OG, Teen Mom 2, and any other news going on in the reality TV world. If that's something that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and subscribe. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. This episode starts off with Brianna killing a wasp in her house. I guess if watching Brianna scream is like your fetish or something, that's pretty cool. I haven't been able to hang out with Javi recently because I'm helping Jade. We still don't have a title though. He's just a friend that's a boy. Later, he comes to visit his friend that's a girl, and he asks, "Where's Jade? She's still alive?" "Yeah." "Fire." Okay. Honestly, it kind of is a miracle though. "When's the last time I saw you, bro?" "I've just been helping Jade. Miami with her was the most stressful situation I've ever been in my life. Don't worry, once she leaves, we can hang out more." She had a kid with Lewis, and Jade's surgery was still the most stressful situation in her life. That says a lot. Next is Ashley. She says, "Bar's getting his life together. He's in college now, and I'm almost done with my associate's degree to start nursing school." Bar actually seems excited to start college, and he's the first person in his family to go. He says, "I didn't even expect to live to 18 years old with the lifestyle I was in." That's actually pretty sad. Maybe he should talk to Jade to learn about how to surprisingly survive when everyone around you neglects you in your time of need. And maybe Brianna can help him out too somehow. She can come defend his house from drive-by shootings or whatever Bar was doing. Brianna apparently hates Ashley now, so she just might do it. Leah is hanging out with her friend, Kathy. Yeah, I'll break the illusion. These girls don't have 40-year-old besties. They don't have jobs, so it's not like they're making friends with their older coworkers. These old ladies you see on the show are literally nannies. Same in Kale's scenes, when you see these random old women doing her chores, like, they're not doing that out of the kindness of their hearts. Those are nannies that are on her payroll. And so is Kathy, I'm assuming. The only reason they don't say that is they don't want criticism like, "Oh, you guys stay home all day and you can't even take care of your own kids." Kardashians, 100%, also have nannies too, by the way. Leah catches Kathy tidying up and she says, "Oh my god, you didn't have to clean, thank you." Yeah, she kinda does. Then Leah tells a story about how her twins got into a fight last night because Gracie saw a video of Allie dancing. And Allie was embarrassed because of the way she danced, and she didn't want anyone to see it. Leah says it's hard that they took Gracie out of cheer because it was the only thing she worked for. She's having a hard time balancing the needs of Gracie when Allie has a disease, so they can't do activities. She cries, and she hopes that her girls feel loved. Kale picks up Lux from his dad's house, but of course, we don't get to see Chris. Lux calls Kale annoying at the dinner table, which is kind of funny. Absolutely nothing else happened in her scene. I cannot wait until Young and Pregnant starts again in August. Jade is doing better, so Brianna leaves her at home to go feed kangaroos. Jade calls Sean and tells him, "I'm reevaluating what I want for my family. Brianna's over here shaving my legs and showering me. Meanwhile, my own mom manipulated me when I was bedridden and I couldn't even do anything about it. She didn't even pretend to care about my life. They have drug addict behavior. Don't tell me it didn't look like they were on some shit." By the way, unfortunately, Jade has since gone back on this, and she recently posted on Instagram basically saying, no, what do you mean drugs? My mom doesn't do drugs. Like, what could you possibly be talking about?" to this Q&A. So I don't know what happened between then and now. Probably a lot of manipulation on Christy's part. But I'm glad that Jade at least had a clear head right after the situation happened. At some point, she did realize what was going on, even if she changed her mind. Jade tells Sean to block Christy because that's what she's doing. She doesn't want Chloe around them either. Thank God, like a decision that should have been made a long time ago. Keep the active drug abusers away from the child, please. In her confessional, she says, "These people are selfish. How they treated me was ridiculous. Christy is not going to change. It's just how they are. This is my breaking point. I'm done." And she was absolutely right here. It's unfortunate that Christy manages to keep manipulating her way back into Jade's life. Bar's birthday is coming up, and Ashley wants to make him a home-cooked meal. While Bar is moving a canopy, all the rainwater falls from the top and spills all over him, which soaks him. Hilarious. Ashley says in her confessional, "Bar knows I'm extra, so he probably anticipates an extra celebration for his birthday. I'm gonna cook him chicken tikka masala, which is his favorite food memory from when he lived in London. He's nosy, so I don't know if it'll be a surprise though." Is anyone else curious why Bar was living in London? Like, was Shen running from some warrants in America? Did Bar have an accent while he was there? Did he join a British gang? I have so many questions. Allie has a Zoom doctor's appointment with Dr. Sal. They tell him about her new wheelchair, and he tells them that they've discovered several hundred patients with the same diagnosis as Allie, whereas in the past they only knew of about 20 people. New research is also showing that she might live well into her 70s, which is great news and a huge relief since they used to think that she might only live until her 20s. Leah is really glad that Allie understands her disease more than she used to, and we can look further into her future. Although Jade is grateful for Brianna's help, she's anxious about Chloe being with Sean alone, and she just misses being in her own house and not relying on others. So she suddenly decides, it's been a week, I've healed enough, and she books a flight home. They have to push her on a wheelchair through the airport, and it just reminds me of that TikTok with all the BBL girls. Shirley later tells Brianna that Jade was very sudden about leaving. She called Shirley and said, "I need to go home right now." Brianna's like, yeah, her anxiety is off the roof sometimes, but she did send me a text saying, "I love you guys, I've prayed for friends like you. You're so lucky to have a mom that's so caring. Appreciate it, Brianna, because not everybody has that." Oh, that's kind of depressing for Jade. As overwhelming as Roxanne might be, clearly she's a more caring parent than Christy. Kale asks her kids, "What do you like to do at your dad's house?" Lincoln quickly answers that he likes to play football, but Isaac doesn't really say anything. He complains that his dad only lets him play video games for an hour, and that's it. Kale tells him, "Try to draw, get some Play-Doh." I don't want to attack Joe's parenting, but I don't like Isaac unhappy. When do we let him choose where to stay? He needs to feel heard. And then later when she drops him off, she says, "I'm dropping you off first, Isaac," and he's like, "No!" Try to find things to do while you're over there. Be proactive. Let's just not get into this debate again. We already saw like a couple seasons ago that Kale's a massive hypocrite about this topic. Basically, when Isaac wants to stay with her, she's like, "Oh, Isaac is old enough, he should decide." But when Isaac wants to go with Joe, she says, "Oh no, he's too young to decide." And that was after she said that he was old enough when he wanted to stay with her. So in other words, she's just completely full of shit. Jade is back home, but she's not ready to let her mom back into her life. As for her body, she says, it's not as swollen or stuff anymore. It looks good, and it's starting to fall. Like, fall off? Is her ass just gonna drop to the floor like an ice cream that falls off of the cone? Okay, I know that's not what she meant. She probably meant it's like starting to fall and not be so like high up and stiff. But at this point, like, I wouldn't even doubt it if some stuff started falling off. This was a sketchy ass surgery. Like, what a mess this entire experience has been for her. The body could look 10 out of 10 and I still won't think that it was worth it. Jade says, "I felt like there was something shady going on in that house in Miami. I was in pain for 3 hours. I cried every single day. And Brianna was not obligated to help me, but she still did. She even slept on a mattress next to me. I blocked my mom. She's too toxic for me. Her energy is toxic. I would never do her like she did me." And again here, she's seeing clearly that something sketchy was going on. I don't know why she changed her mind about this. It's Bar's birthday. Ashley says, "We got reservations, Bar. Let's head out. The restaurant is this way." And they start walking to her porch. She says, "I thought there was going to be traffic. That's why I wanted us to leave earlier." And they're literally just walking to her backyard and Bar's cracking up. Like, Ashley is hilarious. You cannot convince me otherwise. Anyway, she actually set up a really nice little area and gives Bar a home-cooked Indian food, which is his favorite. Bar says, "Thank you, I appreciate it. It's even better than restaurant food." Then she pulls out a little surprise, which is a wallet with a note in it. And she says, "I'm not pregnant, that's not it. It's not a pregnancy announcement. Get that out of your head." It turns out to be tickets to go to London and Paris in the future, which is a vacation that they've been talking about for years. In her confessional, she says, "He's straightened all the way up. He has a heart of gold. I love Bar and I want to marry him." How sweet. Next is Brianna and Brittany. After seeing the Jade experience, that made Brittany want to have work done at Dr. Miami. Again. He says, "I need to work out. One side of my ass is nice and one is disgusting. I look 20 times fatter than I already am." Yeah, the lopsidedness wasn't caused by working out. It was caused by the 2016 surgery at Dr. Miami's. And it can't really be fixed by working out either, unless you can figure out how to do one-legged squats. Brianna says, "I have excess skin, and Dr. Miami says the only way to fix that is to make my ass and boobs bigger. We'll only be out of commission a few days. It's not that intensive." Like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, first off, you can get excess skin removal instead of just shoving more fat in there, but that's besides the point. I don't have anything against surgery, but when you're going back to the same doctor 3, 4, 5 times, don't you think maybe it's time to chill a little bit? Like, obviously this guy is not giving you the results that you want, or at least not lasting results, but you keep coming back for more. More scars, more invasive surgery, more anesthesia. Like, why would you keep getting major surgery like it's nothing? Especially after you saw Jade in so much pain. She says, "Jade went through a bad experience, but it's been a year since my surgery, and I'm insecure, so I'll get more work done. Hopefully our recovery is not as bad as Jade's. I'm just gonna stay on this route until I feel my best." Wow, a whole year since your last surgery. How did you survive? Leah tells Gracie, "I have a surprise for you. We're getting you private cheer lessons," and Gracie's super excited. She takes her to the private cheer place, and Gracie really enjoys it. Leah explains that this is to keep her skills up, and then maybe next year she can go back on the team. And that's all for this episode of Teen Mom 2. What do you think of Brianna wanting surgery again? And Brittany, what do you think of Isaac not wanting to go to Joe's? Make sure to leave a comment down below and make sure to subscribe for more Team Mom recaps every week.